No Love from Kurt is officially our next circuit race here in Need for Speed Underground, and where if we win this we will get to progress ourselves up to 8th in the circuit rankings. Let's move on to the event itself.
You know, I've been watching you in the circuit rankings. Taking Jose's spot, that was easy. Think you're taking my spot? No freaking way.
Dude, Import Racer is looking for cover cars. How cool is that? You win and you're in.
So basically, if I can win this race first time, and hopefully I will be on the cover of Import Racer. Providing that can manage to work out the way just I want. Providing it works out the way I want it to. And of course, as you might have guessed, I will of course be going for the win. And if I have to reload the game so I can go back and get that magazine cover, then I will. So Kurt is in the Acura. We've also got a Soup in this race. And aside from that, we've also got a Honda Integra. A Toyota Soup, by the way, in case if you're wanting to know what the Soup is. So we're doing 10 laps around Atlantica, and I've already got myself into the lead, and I've immediately crashed. Literally about 3 corners into the event. Well, at least I can say Kurt is not doing much better at the moment. But either way, it's a 6-lap circuit race, which means it's basically an endurance race. We do have plenty of time to get back up into the lead. And the other thing I know is that, well, this car is not as tail happy as the Subaru was. And that's why I switched over to the 240SX. Because it meant then, of course, I'd have a better chance of keeping my car stable, and in the process, I would also be there to keep myself in the lead for longer periods of time, hopefully. Things are going very unwell at the moment. And now they've just got even worse. And I'm out of nitrous. What a surprise. As soon as everything starts to look good, basically this game has to slam me right back down to earth. And then basically give me a slam dunk where the ball literally just lands on my face. After it's already scored in the net. Things are not going very well at the moment. Well, at least I know this is a long one, so I know the AI are just about as prone to making the mistakes as I am. I also know there's going to be plenty of time for me to get back into the lead, and if it's possible, I can manage to not wreck as much. Which seems to be what's happening a lot in this race at the moment. Because, well, to put it simply, my run so far, well, it's been pretty awful because of all the traffic. It also really doesn't help that I just literally keep having to take front-end impacts from walls that are just quite literally sticking out on me, but somehow I'm still in the hunt. I guess it must be because the AI are making just about as many mistakes as I am. That's probably the only reason why I'm staying in this thing. Either that, or my car is just a little faster than the AI's. Well, Kurt is leading. And I got very loose there. Basically, I was loose to the point of where I had oversteer, and then it felt like I was gone with understeer. Yeah, something tells me I'm gonna need something pretty catastrophic to happen to the leaders if I'm gonna catch back up again. Because at the moment, it looks like I might have to reload. So I can go back and win this race the right way. If only it was that simple. Well, at least I can say the leaders don't get very far. Please don't let there be any traffic this time. I'm so glad I missed that delivery truck. Otherwise, I would have literally been dead, and I would have been pretty angry with myself. In other words, I would have been mad. If I'd hit that fucking delivery truck. In other words, I would have been pretty pissed with myself had I hit that delivery truck, but thankfully this time around the game spared me. Which I think is quite a fortuitous thing, if I do say so myself. And keeping myself in 5th gear, so in case if I do get loose, I've got a bit more control. And I've got some near miss points on the board, and I now have a 4-second interval on Kurt. So, on the brakes, as I take the short chute in the construction site, and heading through the dirt, and now heading down the graffiti straight. I think that's graffiti, anyway. Now, on the front stretch, under the bridge, I don't manage to wreck my car again, and I somehow come back to win this first try, in spite of how terrible the first 4 laps went. But there we go. So, I beat Kurt to the line by 3.9 seconds, then it was Paul who finished in 3rd, and it was Stan who finished last in the Toyota Supra. I did not think I was going to come back to win that race, but I guess because the race itself was long enough for me to redeem myself, that's probably what gave it to me. And I'm now on the cover of Import Racer with my Nissan 240SX. Nice. Very nice. Climbed to the 8th spot on the circuit rankings board.
Alright, the cover of Import Racer.
I did have doubts about whether or not I was actually going to pull off the comeback, but eventually, once everything started to settle down and I wasn't quite making as many mistakes, eventually the race itself just came to me, and after managing to limit the accidents, or not having any accidents, I came back to win it. Not yet. Oh, we have a tournament event. Import Tuner Drift event. I'm also pretty sure this is a tournament. Yeah, on second thoughts, I am going to save the game. So, in case if I do have to do the drift tournament again, I don't have to do the circuit race over again. But anyway, before we move on to that, let's now check our rankings. And as you can see here, we're now up to P8 in the circuit rankings, ahead of both Kurt and Jose. And the other ones we've not moved up from yet. Or not moved up any further than we already have. Anyway. Time for the tournament event. Import Tuner Drift event. Speed and style coming up. You need at least 2 stars to enter this drift event, sponsored by Import Tuner. I'm pretty sure mine is a 3-star ride, and yes it is. Alright, let's go. Let's try and see if we can get on the cover of Import Tuner. Since I did manage to get myself on the cover of Import Racer. I figure since the 240SX is a more stable car, I reckon we should be okay. You know what? That actually felt a lot more satisfying than my previous run did, because I actually got the combos together. And whilst I wouldn't normally do this, well, technically speaking, I was so close to getting a combo that was worth more than, I'd say, about 20,000 points. Well, over 25,000 points in terms of the overall score. That if I'd not lost that many points in a single drift, then I would not be doing this again. But ultimately, well, I decided I'll basically just be pissed off with myself if I don't do it again. And as you saw in the previous race, I did manage to get a really good combo together. Once the points really started stacking up, I actually got myself a combo that was worth 16k, which, for me at least, feels a bit more satisfying than that loss I had in terms of the drift combo from what had happened on that previous attempt. But again, that's why sometimes it's important to try and see if you can do some races again. And well, because once you're done with the race in this game, you basically just move on to the next one. You don't really get a lot of chances unless you reload the game to actually go back and do a race again, which is basically what I'm trying to do here. And also because I'm really trying to keep myself on par with where I think this car should be in terms of the drift combos. I should also mention we did unlock some flame vinyls which I may consider using. Yeah, something tells me this is definitely going to be a race winning score if I can continue things the way I have been doing. Oh, can I get 20,000? Oh, not quite. Well, at least I can say getting over 100,000 points is almost as satisfying. Yeah, I don't think I'm losing this race anymore because I'm just so far ahead of my competition now that I'll quite frankly be shocked if I don't win this. Yeah, I've definitely got the win this time. There's no doubt about that. I won by 53,000 points over Fish. In that race, Jet was third, and it was Al who once again finished in last. Well, pretty much even Stevens at the top, at least. And apparently I've now got some more hood vinyls, this time for Flames Level 3. And another unique vinyl along with the Aerospeed vinyl. I think that's how the brand is pronounced. It could be pronounced Aerospeed, but I don't know. Probably is pronounced Aerospeed or Aerospeed. Anyway, final race. And already off to a poor start, but at least I got some points. In spite of me pretty much doing it whilst I was in the wall. And I wreck myself again. Well, at least I can say the consequences weren't anywhere near as big as they were before. So, I'm just going to keep trying. Seeing maybe if I can get the 20k plus combo again that I lost. Or at least try to get most of that combo back. And I just lost 7,000. Well, that sucks. But you want to know what does not suck? The way I'm leading this race right now. Because I am just doing so well at leading this race right now that as long as I can keep this going, I may be able to get the clean sweep. Still, am I going to get that points combo again I had before? I don't know if I will or I won't. I don't know if I either will or won't, but it would certainly be a nice feeling if I could get a 20k plus score. Although I don't think that's going to happen, but anyway. Final lap. I've done very well so far, making sure that I stay on top and making sure that my combos are secured because I need them to be in order to win this. Yeah, close enough. It was more than half the points I lost on my first attempt when doing this, but anyway, I've got it this time. pretty sure I've got at least 130k on the board. And I do. So it was Fish who finished second in his Hyundai Coupe, then it was Jet in third, and it was Al who finished in last. And pretty much even Stevens regarding the points, because we all finished in the same positions for each of the respective races. And I've now got some lightning vinyls as well. BBS, and another 6 grand, along with some level 2 upgrades. Okay, so we're not at the Import Tuner magazine yet, but I'd imagine we'll be getting there pretty soon. And next up, we've got another 3 races. So we've got a lap knockout, a drift race, and another sprint race. Well, whilst I'm here, I might as well put on some more performance upgrades because, well, I need those. Sure, whatever. And also going to put on a turbo. Sure, let's go with HKS. And as for the brakes, yeah, it's only because it's got Brembo in the package. But yeah. We also got some visual upgrades as well, but I'm not going to look at those yet. So we've got a lap knockout, a drift race, and a sprint race. Let's get on with the lap knockout first. And I'll also save the game as well, so I don't lose any progress. Because I would be pretty sad if my progress was lost now. These guys are crazy. They want to challenge you to a lap knockout in their brand new imports. Whatever they say, I'm basically ready to present them with whatever statement wins I can. It's also because I saved the game as well. So yeah, there is that. Alright, so we've got another 240SX with an Eclipse and a Celica. Let's see how we go. Okay, so I am trying this again on a different day compared to what I was doing yesterday because, well, I wasn't thinking straight. I also figured under the circumstances that, well, because I had some things on my plate yesterday, I decided to leave it until today where I would be more relaxed. And now, I think I do feel a bit more relaxed. At least compared to when I was doing this yesterday, because, well, I have a bit more time to get through this now. Or, I hope I do. So, the traffic goes through the crossroads, but fortunately, I do not get clobbered by it this time, and getting a little bit loose there on the exit of the tunnel, but still able to regain my momentum and hold on to the race lead. I have put on all of the Stage 2 upgrades which I unlocked from the previous event, I think it was. And hopefully, if there's not too much chaos, I should be able to waltz my way through this. Or I'm hoping I will, but either way, at the moment, things seem to be going well. And as well as that, I've also been making sure to stay out of trouble, which is probably the main reason why my run has gone so well so far. In this knockout race, and already Nuts has been knocked out, as has Lazio. I would assume one of them was in the other 240SX, because I'm pretty sure the guy I'm racing is likely to be the Eclipse. If the other two guys have been knocked out, one of them being in the other 240SX and the other one I'm pretty sure was in the Celica. It'll probably tell me in a minute, once the leaderboard results change again. And yep, I am against the Eclipse. And still able to avoid trouble, and providing there's no last minute demons in front of me, no there isn't, and there we go. I've got the knockout race. So it was Mutt who finished in second, Lazio third, and it was Nuts who finished last in the Celica or Celica, whichever. Alright. Hey, we've now got some level 2 side skirts. Alright. Maybe that will improve the looks of my car visually. But anyway. I've now got another event under my belt, and before going into the next one, I'm basically going to save the game after every single event I do from now on, because this is where it's only going to get harder and harder for me to maintain my composure from here if I don't save the game after every single event, because I know it's going to get harder and harder as we go along. And we have got both a drift race and a sprint race. And let's move on to the drift race.
Import sooner, dude. You want on their cover, you gotta win this next race.
Grab the 8 spot, out from under the noses of some wannabe drivers. I'd imagine Dirt is probably somewhere in this field as well, but that's just what I think. I'm not watching the tutorial videos, by the way, because I don't need to. I've already beaten the game once before, I know how it works. I'm experienced enough to understand all of this game's possibilities. And that's a wall. Fuck me. Can I please get some fucking points on the board within the next minute or so, and start putting together a combo that's actually meaningful, to show that I can get back into contention, instead of just making a literal fool of myself, because that would be greatly appreciated if I could. Hey, I'm now up front. Now I just gotta make sure I stay there, if that's at all possible. Maybe if it's possible I can stay up there. Oh hey, Dirt is in this race. Well, maybe getting on the cover of fucking Import Tuner is a possibility. And now I've just made it much less of a possibility. Well, I guess it must still be there, because I am at least getting the combos where they count. Even though I know I can score higher than this. If I can stop hitting the walls. If I can stop hitting the walls in the worst possible angles. Maybe there is a distinct possibility. Okay, I really need to get some more points on the board if I'm going to secure this. Just because I'm out in front doesn't mean that I've got the lead secured. Okay, will that be enough? Please be enough. Okay, it is enough. I've got it by 10,000 points over Dirt. Spin was third, and it was Deshawn who finished last in the Celica. Well, at least I got on the cover of Import Tuner. And I'm now 8th in the drift rankings. Let's get a look at our new magazine cover. And here it is.
The cover of Import Tuner makes your ride look like the meanest thing in the street.
Alright. I'm on the cover of Import Tuner, baby. And that now means I have one race left. Crosstown Dash. And because I know it's going to get harder and harder from here, I am very much going to be a man of my word here and save the game so I don't lose track of my progress. And now we can move on to Crosstown Dash. A first place finish here will claim the 8th spot in the sprint rankings. Let us go to work. Whilst I'm just sipping my drink. So we've got an Acura RSX in this race, along with an Eclipse and a Supra. Who will win? Yeah, I've already reloaded this game now a few times because, well, I've not been able to get the finishing results I've been wanting. Of course, that could either be down to me, or it could just be down to the fact of saying that the only other car I could really consider switching to at this point would probably have to be the Nissan Sentra, but that thought is not on my mind right now. Because the only thing I can really do... Thank God. Is hope that the chaos element can somehow work with me. And that, of course, is providing the chaos does not kill me before then. Which is basically what's been happening at this point of the event. And why I've already reloaded this game a few times just to be certain in saying that it will clinch me a spot somewhere further up in the rankings. I did not need that mistake. But it's okay because the Acura did not get past me. And I want him to be behind me. As long as I'm out in front. Can I get it clinched this time? Okay, got there eventually. Took me a few reloads to get it done. In case if there were any magazine covers I wanted to get, but I'm pretty sure there isn't. I was basically just doing that one for pride. But whatever, doesn't matter. Hey! We've now got the Celica. And we're now 8th in the sprint rankings. Fascinating. And no more magazine. And no additional magazine covers for now. Alright, so we've got a drag race next. And then this will probably be followed up with a series of other events. But this is where I'm going to end it. This is where I'm going to end this episode. So, yeah. Another bunch of events is down, and next time we will be starting off with another drag race. Coming in the next episode.
Keep it coming. 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 Na, 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 na. Whoa.